Hello, lovely, beautiful people. Hope you're having a nice day. Um, I want to talk about Bitcoin because, well, I just got a new job, making some money, got some spare cash, and I'm saving up for a special project I'm doing. I'm gonna be part of organizing a trance music dance party, and this time I want to help with some investment in it. So every month I'm going to put some money away. But yesterday in my new job, I talked to somebody and he showed me his um, what he was like doing with Bitcoin and all the other. He asked me, "Oh, you're into crypto?" Well, I said I know a lot about it and know a lot about blockchain, and so we started talking about it, and uh, and now I'm thinking of, well, maybe I should put the money I'm saving up for the next couple of months into Bitcoin. It might go up and it might be even more valuable. The problem only is when you want to do it for a couple of months, not know where it's going. So if we look at right now, um, you can see that it's going up from 26 here, like a year ago, and on here we're at like over 60, between over 80. So it's pretty good. The lowest point here is 50, 51. So, and then here the lowest point is about 24. So between 24. So that's still double of the lowest point. So that's a pretty good. Like if this was gold, you would and you had money to invest, and you don't want to keep it on a bank where there's no really not going up much. You could, and it's gold, and you would see this graph like, oh, it's going up. It's like even doubling in. So if you have like 10,000 euros, that would be 20,000 euros in a year's time, right? So this looking pretty good. The thing is, like, why is not everybody still doing it? So, well, let's look at 5 years. And I think I once did like a video on this, so I have to see if I did, and what I did, I say that a couple of years ago or whatever, whenever I did it, so it would be interesting. Um, so, and there's the problem is where you can see these low points is going up, and of course that's what you want if you put money in it. If you buy here and then it goes up, you're like, hey, I made money, and you can sell it here, and then, well, you got lots of profit. I mean, the top here, if you buy it, sell it here, something 47, and you bought it, let's say like here for 9,000, that's like that's a lot. That's a big difference, you know. It's like 4 or 5 times. You have 5 times. Like say you bought it at 10, and then it's like 50. That's like 5 times the value. So it's 400% profit. That's pretty good. That's four. Yeah. Uh, you're not only, yeah, you Isaac quadrupled your money. Is that five? Quadrupled is four, or is that 10 quadrupled? I don't know. Anyway, your money just went 5 times. Now no bank is gonna do that. The thing only, um, actually, I'm going a bit ahead of myself. So let's make this a bit smaller. So I don't want to give away the. Oh, that's not working. Okay, it's not working. What I was trying to do. Um, I, anyway, I want to hide this part, which I already showed you guys. But like, let's say like we're in here, where this is 2020, 2019, and this is like 2017. You can see my cursor moving, right? So now before that, before 2017, here all the way back in 2015 November, um, Bitcoin was started, right? And it was very, very low. I remember looking at it, and it went up to 50 euros, and I'm like, wow! And it used to be like a few euros, and then went up to 50, so like times 50, right? In a short period, and I was like, wow! I wish I knew that, and I bought some, and then I would have made so much money over that. But the thing is, and then I thought, well, maybe I should buy it now, and I really didn't have much money then. So, but I thought, well, what if I put aside 500 euros and buy 10 of them, buy 10 bitcoins? Well, if I have done that, I would have like a 500,000, right? So you never know. The thing is that, but at that point, there was really no indication that could actually happen. It might as well just like be zero, And now, of course, we know different. And that's kind of the story's been all along. Like at some point, it went up and up. It went a few hundred, and then I would keep looking at it. And I'm like, I just couldn't believe it. I said, well, now I have to buy one for 1,000. Now I have to buy one for 2,000, and you just don't. And it becomes more and more just to buy one Bitcoin. Well, I could have had like dozens, right? So, and it's really like your mind is like, what's going on with that? And you just keep expecting it to stop. Like this cannot keep continuing, right? Like if I buy now for 2,000, if I buy a Bitcoin for 2,000, or like a half a Bitcoin for 1,000, then it's gonna in a few weeks all the value is gonna be gone, and I just lost 2,000 euros or 1,000 euros or 5,000 euros. So that's kind of how I've been thinking for a long time. So, well, that's kind of realistic. That's how we look at life. Like if something seems to be too good to be true, it must be not right. It must be something wrong about it. So what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, let's say you're here in November 2017, and the price is going up 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 9,000, 16,000. Now imagine a lot of people saw this Bitcoin thing go up, and they were like, wow, we have to like invest now, and we're gonna make lots of money. But then it stopped. I think here I see 16,000. I thought it went like max was like 20,000 or something, but at least it maxed out. And then here you see, like, imagine you're buying it at 16 or 20 or whatever, and then people stop buying it, and they stop buying it. It keeps going lower, and then you invested 16,000. You bought one Bitcoin for 16,000. Let's imagine you could, or like half one for 8,000, or a quarter one, or whatever. At least, and then, boom, it goes all the way down to 3,000. Yeah. So now, if you invested like 16,000 just to buy a whole one, and it goes back to 3,000, you're out of 13,000 euros at that point. So what are you supposed to do? I think, or this is in dollars, whatever. But let's say then, that's the thing. You don't. Well, you might feel like, oh, I just lost a lot of money, and it keeps going down. It's been going down for all. You don't know it's gonna go up. You don't know that. You've been seeing it for like from 2017 December to 2018. You just seen it go out lower and lower. Now you're out 13,000. You might have said, well, I might as well just get to 3,000 or 4,000 before it completely goes to zero and I lost all my money. So you might just get your money back, and you just lost 13,000 euros, right? And you don't know the future. This weird thing, Bitcoin thing, what's gonna happen? All the people. There are so many people saying good things and bad things. Who's to know the future? Who's to know how these things work? And we still don't know. It could still tomorrow. It could all be like zero. But anyway, this is like 14-year period. But here, and it goes up and down, all these people are buying and selling stuff, and they didn't buy it for 16,000, or maybe they did, but anyway, just keep buying and selling this stuff, and then here it goes back like to 10. Well, this is a lot better than the 3,000. And I mean, here there were not many people who bought it for 16,000. There were only very few. You could see it stopped really quickly. It was a very short period. Very few people just spent that much money on it. And some people sold it. So there are people here that bought it for like 1,000 or like 4,000, and they were selling it at 16. They made huge profits. Maybe people who had like 1,000 Bitcoin. They became millionaires right here. and of course people keep selling it off because, well, they don't see it going up soon. And I mean, maybe they bought it here and then they're here and they're like, oh well, that's a nice difference from 2,000 to 7,000. You know, they made profit. But here, so we're at 16 here, and here it comes like this is in December 2017, like let's say yeah, beginning, yeah, almost the end of it's the end of 2017. And then here we're at again at the end of 2020, so that's about 3 years, and boom, it goes up above the 16, above the 20, 30, 38, 40, 50, and here it arrives around, it goes above 50. So you can see that the person, even the person, those few people that bought it here at extreme high prices and really could only sell it at a loss in these periods, that they now got their money back, and with profit, with huge profits, even from this highest point. It's still, but they had to wait like 3 years, right? So yeah, 3 years is it's a big period. Like if you put all invested, if you sold your house and everything you had and you put it in Bitcoin at 16, and you have to wait for 3 years, and you don't know if it's ever going to go above that 16,000 that you bought it at, man, those are tough 3 years. And you don't know, because it's a new thing. Like this is the first peak. This is unique. Bitcoin is unique. This is the first peak it ever had, and then if all these other peaks, you don't know if it's ever gonna come back, ever gonna go better. But then here, boom, it goes, wow, so much better than here, right? So all the people invested even before December 20 now are making profit, because even those people are making profit now. And those people might have just bought maybe they bought like 1,000 euros of Bitcoin when it was really high, and maybe they bought a few thousand Bitcoins here when it was very low. You know, these people could still make money in these periods where things going up and down and stuff, and they could still invest here at the low point. They could still buy it here at 3,000. Maybe they were waiting and maybe they bought it at 4,000 or 3,000. So they're gonna make a lot of profits here when it's going up again. So that's why I try to, and now we come, but we never know what is gonna happen, right? That's the thing. Like when you were here, you didn't know it was gonna go up. You might have sold it here at 3,000 because you thought, well, might as well get a little bit of money back, you know, or you didn't know to reinvest even more in it because you didn't know it was going to go up to 50, right? Nobody knew it was going to go up to 50 or 60 or whatever. So now let's look at some more information. Right now we're here, July 24. It went over 60, and now it's between here 54 and 63. It's pretty huge. So now if I look at this, and you can see a huge dip here, and here at least the highest points, if you bought it here at like 53, if you bought it here at 48, then you had to wait a long time here until boom, it went above that. But it did go above it. So even if you bought it here and you were waited all this long time, there was going to be a point where you at least break even or sell it with profit. You know, you would be kind of unlucky to buy it here and then it'd be going down for like a couple of years. But let's see, the period is November 21, March 24. This is again like 3 years where they had to wait to get at least their money back. So yeah, buying it here at the highest point, that is the most unlucky thing that can happen to you, but it will correct itself after a couple of years. Well, more than a couple of years, 3 to 4 years. 3 years. It did correct every time until now. So that might happen again. Let's say if I buy now, and I bought a little bit for the first time, but I bought it here, and but the thing is, like, I don't know the future. It might go up to like 1 million in the next week. I don't know, so it could go all the way to zero, but it's more likely that it will be something like what happened before. But if you can see here that there are levels of increase, that, like, if you look here, the lowest point was 15,000, and nothing is below that. 15,000 was the highest here for a long time. For 3 years it was the highest, and it's not been. And on here you can see the lowest is like 4,000 or something, 4,000. Those were the lowest here in this period. And on here the lowest period was like 15,000. Now that would be, if you had some money, would be a nice time to buy in, right? Because it's very low, and then it's probably going to go up. So is it going to be the biggest difference? But even if you would buy it here, there's still difference, and if you buy it here, there's always difference. Like, it doesn't really matter at what it is. It is at least like at least when you sell it, if you're able to sell it for more than you buy it for, then it's this profit, right? But the nice thing about this thing is, if you look at the growth, like the ceilings, like there's like the lowest points grow. So this lowest growth is grow. Like, if there's going to be another dip, it probably won't go between below 15, right? Maybe it will stop at 20 or 27 or 30. Like this little dip here is 28, and probably people think when it's that low, they think, well, I might as well start buying because it's gonna go up again. I don't know. People don't. I'm not saying it's never gonna go back to 2000, but because in fact you don't know. But the thing is not about not knowing. The complete uncertainty, the complete certainty and complete uncertainty are not the point here. I mean, in life, there is in this thing, there's no complete certainty, whereas we don't know the future, and there's no complete uncertainty. There's also not that we completely don't know. If you look actually at what happened the last 14 years, it went from absolutely nothing, like a few cents, up to 60,000. So if you would like make a prognosis of the future, you would say that if you were to buy something anywhere here, anywhere, doesn't matter, even at the highest peaks, eventually you will make profit, and that's a very good thing. Now, when I see there is no complete certainty, this has been going on for 14 years now, and you've seen ups and downs, but it's always like you have an up here, and then you have a long down. But even these downs are higher than what it was before, right? And here again you have a down, but these are downs between 30 and 15, way higher than it ever was before, and these are ups and downs between like 8 and 4, 8 and 3, So and these were the lowest between 15 and 30. So although there is not complete certainty, there is a realistic prognosis to be made that if this will work, like if that it will be going up, right? So if you buy here or you buy there or wherever, you might just double your your money. You just might triple it, quadruple it. It might go 10 times. Like, if you bought it here let's go all the way back, like here, 2000. Well, let's do something like here. If you go like, if you bought here for 6,000 and here sell it for 60,000, this times 10, right? Times 10. I mean, what kind of bank will do that for you? Now, there's no complete certainty, so yeah, sure, a bank will probably, we know about banks, and we even know that banks sometimes forfeit, but we don't know about Bitcoin. It might go on for another 100 years. We have no idea. It might be another 1 year, it might be 10 years, but let's say it will go on for another 10 years. Now, if we look for 10 years, like I said here, the 6,000, what's the last time when it was around 6,000? April 2020. So March 24, that's about 4 years. It took 4 years to go 10 times. If you were lucky enough to buy it at this point, or wherever it was, and that point. Like actually the lowest time, yeah, the last time it was like at a really low, well, this is 8, yeah, May 2020. And even here it's pretty low, 9,000, 8,000. So, but yeah, like the 6 year, this is like 10, that's like 4 years to go 10 times. What kind of bank will give you 10 times your money if you put 1,000 euros in your bank? And then 10 years later, or 4 years later, there is, what did I say, 1,000? Yeah, there's 10,000. Or let's say you put like 5,000 and then that it's 50,000. That sounds kind of good, right? And in 4 years. Now, so let's pretend that we do know the future, or at least let's make two cases. One case for it will continue, and another case for it won't. If this would continue, and you put like the 5,000 in that bank account, or more, or you keep doing that, like every month you put 1,000 in, whatever you can put in. Anyway, that money will grow and grow and grow, and you could like, so when you put 1,000 in, you're not putting 1,000 in, you're putting 5,000 in. Let's say if you take it out in like 5 to 10 years, when it's 10 times. So 1,000, no, not 5, yeah, it could be 10,000 even. So every 1,000 you put in could be like 10,000, right? Let's imagine your boss is giving you money, is handing you the check, and it's like, here, you got 3,000 euros. Actually, what he just gave you was not 30,000 euros, because basically you need to pay your rent, right? But let's say you can put 1,000 euros or 1,500 euros in your bank account. He actually gave you now not 1,500 but 15,000 euros, right? That money, like, and you can also say like, well, so you're gonna get a cup of coffee. That cup of coffee costs €2.50. Well, if you 10 times that, it's like 25 euros. So that money you spent on that cup of coffee, it's taking 25 euros. It's costing you 25 euros, because if you would have invested that in Bitcoin, and the future of Bitcoin is as it has been in the past, that could be like 10 times or even more at some point, maybe 4 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 1 year, I don't know. But the thing is that now the other case I said is that doesn't happen. So you put that 1,000 euro in the bank, and something terrible happens, and either you have to take it out because you feel that it's not safe, and maybe there is loss. Maybe it goes to 500 and you have to take it out, it's 500, now worth 1,000 euros, now turned into 500 euros. So you lost 500, or even so let's say that happened. So let's look at what we're saying. So you lost 500, that's the worst case scenario. And the best case scenario is you added 9,000, am I saying right, 9,500 to your bank account. So are you willing to gamble 500 euros to get 9,500? And when I say gamble, I don't mean like the fixed gambling at casinos, or this is, I mean, it is a gamble. I have to, because that is what might happen. You might lose 500. But the thing is, like, this is like a once in a lifetime gamble where yeah, you could lose some money that would be good proper savings for you for the future, to do something else with it. So yeah, that is an actual fact, but the payout is so huge, 9,500, or like yeah, you could lose 50% of your money, or you could gain like 900%. For instance, yeah, losing 50% or gaining 900%, you know. So and actually yeah, so that's kind of how this could be. Now, do I know for sure that's gonna happen and you're gonna get 950% or 900%, or no, but you also don't know if you're gonna lose the 50%. The thing is, so the only question is, like, are you willing to lose that 50%, for instance, to gain the 900? That's the only question you have to ask. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of my yeah, my prognosis or my idea on Bitcoin. I wonder what my other video said, if I ever uploaded it. Yeah. So lots of love. Have a beautiful day, and bye bye.